The Labour Party is back. The Labour Party has finally grown a spine and announced their first bold policy for 2026. A capital gains tax with an exemption for the family home and the farm. This will fund investment in the health system, most notably free doctors' appointments, with each individual being allocated free. I was very happy to see this. I actually wrote to the Labour Party recommending both of these policies earlier this year. The capital gains tax is a great idea. It is long overdue. Almost every country has one. Australia, Britain, you name it, most countries have a capital gains tax. Even right-wing organisations like the IMF have repeatedly suggested that we adopt one. This would raise much-needed government revenue to invest in our crumbling social services. Our health system is severely underfunded. Anyone with eyes can see that. A healthier population makes for a stronger economy. That is the reality. Most importantly, this policy will discourage the rampant investment in property. In New Zealand, property has become the investment of choice. This has led rich people to swarm the housing market, causing massive house prices. This policy will help to counteract this and finally push house prices down. This policy will chip away at wealth inequality. Wealth inequality is socially destabilizing, and it creates hierarchies that threaten freedom and democracy. Minimum wage workers have to pay a percentage of their income as taxation. There is no reason why wealthy property speculators should be tax-free. This policy will finally make the tax system fairer by moving the tax burden away from the working class people who have shouldered that burden for decades. The political right will pretend that this policy will implode the economy. They will engage in baseless fear-mongering. Australia has had a capital gains tax since the 1980s. This policy is far from radical. It is as moderate as it gets. It is a basic common sense policy that is supported by economists across the political spectrum. I am pleased that Labour has finally grown the spine to campaign on this much-needed reform. They are pretty close to securing my vote. They rightly rolled out the more complex wealth tax due to its complexity and the risk of wealth flight. They chose a tried and true option, and I look forward to seeing them implement it. And free doctors' appointments are a great choice. Each person will only get free to prevent the privilege from being abused. This will eliminate the classist nature of the current system. Working people will have access to the healthcare that they deserve. Medical issues can be addressed early in their development, preventing them from becoming a greater issue later on. In many ways, this policy will probably pay for itself. A healthier population means a stronger economy. And this policy will chip away at unequal health outcomes between Maori and Pakeha. Maori are disproportionately poor, and this has led to bad medical outcomes as they struggle to access healthcare. This is a smart policy that addresses this issue by focusing on class, not race. I strongly support this policy, and it represents the pro-worker realignment that we need to see. It may just be the first step, but it is a good step, and I applaud it. I also wanted to see Labour campaign on a tax-free threshold, but I understand this would require more taxes to be levied against the rich, and one tax at a time may be a smarter strategy, as New Zealanders are quite economically conservative. Still, I think more comprehensive rebalancing of the tax system may have been easier to defend if the working class got large tax cuts. Regardless, I strongly support this policy, and it is pretty good. It is not often that one of the major parties embraces a bold, long overdue policy. I fully support Labour. The political right will attempt to fearmonger about this. Their rich donors will be very scared. Good. They don't own our politics. The people do. And next year, I hope they vote for Labour.